On this episode of the Ricoh GR3 series, I will be talking about the image control, namely the color positive. I will share to you my ideas and opinion about the color positive when it comes to camera operation, colors, and skin tone. Hope you enjoy this video. One thing that drew me to buy the Ricoh GR3 camera is the feature that I can shoot to post, which means the pictures taken from the Ricoh camera are ready for publishing. This also means that the image quality is incredibly good and satisfactory, that you don't need to edit them using an enhancing software. So this is my first practice with the color positive, and these were the settings that I applied to my camera. The pictures that you will see on this video were untouched and unedited. It's not perfect, and I do think with constant tweaking to my current settings, I will at some point achieve the right recipe for my images. But for now, use this video as an example so you can judge yourself if the color positive is a setting that you would use. So here are my tips when applying the color positive using the Ricoh GR3 camera. If you want to shoot and apply the color positive directly to your images and you want to post it directly without editing, then I suggest you shoot in JPEG format. But if you want to apply the color positive and edit further using the raw development feature within the camera, then I suggest you shoot in RAW. Now, this is how you apply the image control to your settings. It's very easy to do, simply follow these steps. Step 1. Go to Still Image Setting, then look for Image Control. Then choose Color Positive. Then click the right button on the wheel, which will then show you different image settings that you can apply to enhance your image. You then need to adjust individual settings from saturation, hue, high-low key adjustment, contrast, etc., and create a color recipe that you think will be ideal for your image and your style. The settings and the look of your image really depends on your artistic choices. The only criticism that I have when tweaking the setting is that sometimes it's too subtle, that it can be so hard sometimes to distinguish the changes you apply to your settings. Also, you really need to have good lighting to see the changes. I guess the only way to perfect your color positive recipe is to keep practicing until you have tweaked the right settings for you. So on this section, I will objectively describe to you what the color positive does to your image, and hopefully this will help you decide if the color positive is a good image control that you can use. So I have gathered several objects with different colors. The main colors that I am showing to you are red, blue, green, yellow, and orange. For comparison, I will take pictures using a mirrorless camera using the Nikon Z50 camera in standard color, and the image is unedited. Then I will also take several pictures using the Ricoh GR3 camera with no color positive, with a preset color positive, and with my setting adjustments. Now let us compare these images. Comparing the unedited image between the Nikon camera from the Ricoh GR3 camera, the overall image appears similar with its colors. Perhaps the Ricoh GR3 is a bit darker in color than the Nikon, but please also consider that the ISO and speed rates are different on this image, which can alter the overall exposure of the image. But generally, I would say they look similar. Now comparing the image control with no color positive from the camera's preset color positive. It's pretty obvious that the red, orange, and blue are slightly darker and saturated in color, whilst the yellow and green are paler and are muted in their colors. Now let's compare the image with no positive color with my color positive adjustments. Please note that these are my practice settings, so just bear that in mind. With increased saturation and contrast, the yellow and green colors are brought back close to the original image, and in general the colors are richer and more vibrant. Lastly, for fun and experimentation, I increased the saturation and contrast to 4+ and a 2+ high key and low key adjustment, and I also adjusted the overall exposure of the image by reducing the ISO. This is what it looks like, and it's obvious that you get a very colorful and very more vibrant image. Now, this is just a short general observation using the Ricoh GR3 camera and skin tones. Perhaps I should do another video about this, but for now, this is my first impression when it comes to the effect of the color positive on skin tones. Because the colors are a bit richer, I find it that the skin tones look a bit darker and saturated in comparison to real life. But it's not that bad for it to look a bit unrealistic. I think it's still very close to the actual skin tone. Also, what I notice, it tends to pick up the red tones more and it becomes richer. For example, if you look at my face on this image, I look a bit flushed, when in reality I don't think I look this red. Also, my sister looks a bit darker on the images here, when in real life she's lighter in skin tone. I think it's also good to highlight that the overall exposure and lighting to your subject makes a difference to the skin tone. In addition, I want you to know that I applied 2+ saturation and 3+ contrast on this color positive. So therefore, when shooting human subjects, I suggest good lighting and go easy on the saturation or the contrast, as it does accentuate the colors even more, especially the colors red, brown, blue, and orange, as we have seen on the previous example. Also, take time to practice and take a couple of test shots and tweak the settings until you are contented and you have found the most ideal skin tone color adjustments. Overall, the color positive has so much potential in giving you an overall vibrant and colorful image. With the right adjustments to the settings, it can offer you interesting colors and looks to your pictures. Perhaps it's more well suited to nature and landscape photography with its color enhancement, and perhaps may be a bit easy on the contrast and saturation settings for portraits to balance out the skin tones. Being a master at something takes a lot of time, dedication, and practice. For you to succeed at something, sometimes we go through the hurdles of winning and losing. With the Ricoh GR3 camera, I think it's all about patience and perseverance to practice and keep improving your craft. Never be scared to fail and never be embarrassed to experiment and to try something new. With the color positive, I guess it's just a matter of time and practice to get the right recipe for your images. So I wish you all the best and good luck.